inspired thinking. And I'd first like to take this opportunity to thank God for the inspiration and the determination to initiate and to complete such a project as this. I'd also like to thank God for the newsletters and the many other blessings bestowed upon this family. This is being produced by Sharpe Productions, staffed by Christopher Sharpe, Kenneth Sharpe, and myself. We call this Family in Retrospect. And what it will entail is interviews from various family members, some music, and perhaps a little drama. We'll see. The aspiration behind this is to try to capture some of the rich history of this family on film. And as they say, it's always good to know where you came from to better understand and appreciate where you are. The other hope is that somehow through viewing this, we'll feel a little closer together as a family. We may be able to even match up some of them names from the family tree to faces. We all have our successes and we all have our failures. And yes, the Lord does giveth and He does taketh away. But the one thing that has remained constant in my short 33 years here is you, family. And some believe that the spirits of those who passed are still here. So, without further ado, grab yourself some popcorn and some soda, sit down and relax and enjoy this. I think you will. Yeah, I do. I think you'll enjoy this.
Father Henry Sharpe. I don't know his age at the time, but he was a straight, tall man, very independent. He felt good beside his boy. Him and Simon was quite buddies before he died. And he was older, but he still was proud. And Simon, he died in 1967. I had my father for 41 years. Simon Sharpe, standing beside him, he was Papa and Mama's favorite. He, like a cab driver, he'd take them everywhere they want to go. If Mama say, I want to go to see my brother in Pine Bluff. Okay, Mama, I'll be there. I'll be there. Get ready. So she'd throw a few things in the suitcase, and there off he'd go to Pine Bluff. He was always standing by them two people. Picked them up from California when they were at come home. That was their last ride from here. And this is my little mama. I think Mama had 14 kids, but she raised 11. She lost a few miscarriages. She was quite a lady. She stood about 5'4". She had them babies and stood right side of her man. Talking about a woman standing beside her man. She stood beside her man. And she was a Christian lady. And the strangest thing, Mama she never taken music lesson in her life. But any song you sang, she could go to the piano and pick it up. So that's where all the Warner Sharpe get these musician minds from. So she can tip that music to sing the right tune, but she couldn't get this hand to do right. But she can take this hand and play anything you sing.
The melody.
And she could play guitar. She could play the accordion. She's actually a real artistic lady.
Okay.
She sewed pretty good. Canned any kind of fruit. And it kept. And she spider ladies. And this is a sister standing beside her. Well, let me say this. Mama died in 1977. I had her for 51 years. And Dot, Aunt Anna Smith, it's the right name. We call her Dot. She was a proud lady. She only had 2 kids. And she kind of looked down on Mama because Mama had so many babies. Having little babies every time. Every 2 years was a baby. And Dot still had her 2 little beautiful kids. And Mama was looking up to her and glad to take her hand-me-downs. But she raised us all. And she didn't do such a bad job. She raised us the best she knew how. And I don't forget the year she died, because she's dead. And Simon died in 1974. He was a smart man. Did too much, too fast. He had a store, gas station. He had crops. I think I went down there to 5 acres of ice potato field. He had cotton, people picking out. He had pecan trees. He had a big old skating rink. On Saturday night, everybody come down there and pay him money to skate. The way up and scoon down. He was just a businessman, but it was something about his business was too fast. And he drank too much as he ran his business. That was his downfall, drinking. But he was a good man, and he died in 1974.
I'm the stepchild of had in his shop, my mom and papa. I'm the second. And I can only say that coming up as a child, we had lots of fun together. And one thing I would like to get over, though, regardless of how many people were at our house or what we were doing, Papa would always come to the table. Nobody ate a crumb. Nobody until after Papa had said the blessing. And everybody say his verse. That's at the meal. That was 3 times a day. And I see that's almost a forgotten art in families now, I notice. I don't have any children, but I notice around. And the second thing, that on the Sunday mornings, we would always have prayer. Papa would always lead the prayer, or either he might have one of us young Christians to lead prayer on Sunday morning. And we would do our entertainment. There were 6, 7, 8, or 9 children at home at all time, but we all would sing. And soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and we sung correct music. We sung by the note. And we could sing before anybody, anywhere. And that I loved. We all loved that. We would play different games. Speaking of the family, we played games. Mama would always be the clown in our family. So we had lots of fun. I'd like to mention a couple of the songs that Papa would sing. He would get down and pray, and then he would get up and sing A Charge to Keep I Have, a God to Glorify. See, he has prayed, but it's just like him being in a service. I'm sure you all, if you all pray, you can, sometimes when you get up, you can start a song. But Papa was saying that either he would sing, we would break bread together on our knees, else he would sing the old ship of Zion, which was beautiful, quite beautiful. And
The old ship of Zion.
yeah, and I was trying to sing just a little bit, Alan. There's the old ship of Zion. There's the ship of Zion. There's the old ship of Zion. Get on board. Get on board.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful.
No, I didn't plan to sing my voice. I don't sing.
Hey, that can hold it goes. But
Anyway, that was one of Papa's songs. And we had some good times together. But we would, you all don't know anything about this, but we would sing with the feel that we would all be chopping, whatever is a pizza. And we would bring out the singing, and you could get happy, I said.
Amen.
Yeah, because we would sing, or either Papa would hire us during the summertime, after the crops was laid by, you don't know what I speak of, but there are a lot of people who knows, people who know. Okay.
Okay.
Papa would hire us to pick peas together by the 100 pounds, and be acres and acres and acres of a crowd of peas, full peas, little lady peas, all that. And we would pick them. Then Papa would hire us on Saturday mornings to pick cotton. We'd get out there and pick cotton $1.100.
What? $1, 100.
100 pounds.
Oh, okay.
We'd pick 100 pounds of cotton. Papa pay us $1. Then Saturday evening, he'd take us to town
All right.
to spend that $1. We had a good time. So that was beautiful. But anyway, I'm sure the children don't know what that means, to go through all those gyrations. But we were having a lot of fun, and that's the best we could do. Yeah.
Well, Aunt Susie, I realized that the seniors of our family made it possible so that this generation
Oh yes, that's
would have the full richness of being able not to have done that.
have done, and that's very true. But I wonder, is it paying off? That's okay. Leave that alone. But anyway, I could. Oh, Thelma wanted me to sing the Lord's Prayer, but without music, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
Well, Chris plays piano.
And you play the Lord's Prayer, Chris? That little bit I used to know that I could play, but I can't play that now. But the Lord's Prayer is beautiful.
Is it? Well, okay, so Aunt Susie, so I see by singing those gospel songs that gives you guys strength to do the day's work, and that's beautiful. Aunt Susie, I've always did wonder, what about your grandparents? Who were they? Where did they come from?
Well, I don't know exactly where they came from, but I know they were from Africa. Grandma on Mama's side. Mama's mother would talk about Grandma Tina.
Grandma Tina.
That was her, my grandmother's grandmother.
And she's the African.
Yeah, she was from Africa.
Oh, beautiful.
She was brought from Africa.
Oh,
So, Grandma would often talk about how that they had a children's house. Before children got old enough to go to field, the slaves would have to bring their children all to this particular big house. And keep them there until such time the parents come pick them up. That was from son to son,
Grandson. Person.
Oh, well, I've worked that son to son bit myself. 10 hours a day, that's long enough. But anyway, now, that was Grandma Susan. Now, I didn't know that much about her husband. I never saw him. But he was mostly Irish, I'm told. So red man, short, chunky. Yeah.
Okay, and what about your father's parents?
Well, Grandma Misa and Grandpa Richard, I understand, both belonged to the same slave master. And they were both called Sharpes. Sharp people, or Sharp, whatever you want to call them. And Papa's father was a little preacher, short.
He was a preacher?
Understand. Oh, yeah. And anyway, and then Grandma Misa was a great, big, stocky woman. And they had 7 or 8 children. And they seem to have been a very well, how do I want to say this, put together family, because they knew how to accumulate land. And they bought, now in Starkville, Mississippi, Papa has, if we would go there, some virgin timber where nobody's supposed to go in these particular woods but the Sharpes. Okay, let's put a period there, that's all I'm about. But anyway, okay, that was Papa's family. And that's what all I know about folk people. They were of an English how do you say that?
Dutch.
Huh?
Yes.
Well, probably. Anyway, they were part English. Yeah. Okay.
That's the year.
Now, I was 17 years old when she married. Papa was 23. He had been married before. That's enough of that. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, no.
And, but anyway, then they settled down in Longview, out from Starksville. Little town for Longview or Starksville, whichever. They live between the towns. You know how that goes. And Papa was a farmer.
That's Longview, Arkansas.
No, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Mississippi. So anyway, Papa, when we first came to Arkansas from Mississippi, I was 8 years old. I had worked in the field along with Papa for a year. It was hot. But anyway, we left Mississippi and came to Arkansas in 1990.
Okay.
And stayed in Arkansas then until I came out here.
Okay.
But Mom and Papa had that children. They had 12 children. There are 6 girls and 6 boys. And Mama lost a little girl that was just like Ottie James. That's Annie Mia. And she lost her. And that was the first child to pass until Whitney passed in 71, 70 something. Our family stick together, long lived. So anyway, you look at all the children there. So that's about Mom and Papa's. The boys couldn't go to school like they wanted, but they did pretty good, I guess. Praise the Lord. And all got married and left up. Come now, mostly all that year, I think. Yeah.
It's Susie, out of the brothers, which ones have passed again?
What?
Which ones have passed? I mean,
Who has passed on? Will Henry. He's the oldest. He's next to me. Simon, Uncle Simon. And Harley James. There were just 6 boys. And there are 3 boys alive now, you know. Johnny, your 2 fathers.
praise the Lord.
Yeah, so that's where that goes. 3 boys are gone. And 2 girls, Aunt Missy, and Amelia. And of course, your father had a twin. So how do I count him in? Yeah, he passed on too.
Do you guys know Amelia?
No, you don't know her. Because I was 12 years old, Annie was 9 and she died. I was 12.
Oh, if you're 9 years old,
Yeah. How she got a later fever? We didn't know anything about mosquitoes. So,
Lord have mercy.
So anyway, that's the way it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So, more.
Oh. So it's Susie. What is this about? As far as our heritage is concerned, there's a lot of different rumors. Haiti, Jamaica. I mean,
I don't know anything about those countries and nothing.
so nothing that's really been for.
No, I know nothing about that. We know that just like the white man was going over buying them and bringing them back to the southern states, they were doing the same thing, taking them to probably Cuba or Haiti or
Brazil.
wherever. So that's how that happened. But the people in those other countries were kinder. They're much kinder to these people.
That is
Because, one reason why the postmen, the rich Englishmen, had a bunch of jailed old white trash for stealing geese over in England and what have you. And they would put those poor people over the Negro people over here. And just like that Los Angeles bit, that's what those people would do to our way. They would kill them. They were mean. And because there are some good white people.
Sure.
They're good white people.
I mean,
But the idea is this poor white trash, like that bunch over there in Los Angeles, like in Georgia, Florida, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana. That's where they would bring those people from jail to put them over to oversee the poor Negroes, and they would like to beat them up, kill them. And let me tell you this. This is in one of my books I have here. Those people would get those poor people, intelligent people, and bring them over here, and they would get a diarrhea, and they would cut corks and stoppers and put in their anus.
stock them up.
Stock them up, and put them on the chopping block to try to sell them to these people. And those people are dying like flies. That's in some of my books I have here.
And that's Black history.
Yeah.
I know, but that's American history. Yes, it is.
You mentioned something earlier about Irish and Indian influences in the family.
Yeah. Well, the idea to that is, it's just like now. I only know that we have Indian blood because if the Indian man caught one of our girls out, he used her and she had an Indian baby. Period.
What's this? The Irish or something?
The Irish, why any of them? They just took the poor little black girls and just went haywire with them. Now you know that.
I mean, that's not. I mean,
That's now.
that's rape. 2%.
It's right. There's no excuse. That's rape.
That's rape. So that's really no to have to really brag about.
And a lot of these people, and now down south, most of the fair-skinned people were brought by between the black woman and the man. The black men are just now getting so they can breed these white women. Now, I said it like I wanted to say it. That's quite good.
Well, just rephrasing my question, just so there's no misunderstanding, not bragging about being Irish or from America. Just trying to.
Yeah, the idea is the child who was begotten couldn't help what he did. It wasn't him. And if he comes out and everybody brags and prays on him, he can't help it. He can't help it. So don't accuse him. No, so okay, what else?
What else? See.
In 1942, 43, I was working for the governor. I was cooking in Little Rock for the governor. And his wife, she was something else again. I would work, now talking about from sun to sun. I was working from sun to sun. I was doing 3 or 4 women's work. So, but she said she didn't care. She just would tell me to do this, and I was trying to do it. Okay, when my husband's nephew came to Little Rock to get him, well, he came to Little Rock visa. So he said, after that, you go back to California. The host that my husband did. I was working, and this woman would have me clean her house, go across the street and clean her street house. I mean, 4 or 5 apartments. I was doing all of that, then cooking, and then trying to take. I like about a half an inch of cracking up, frankly speaking. Okay, I was getting $10 a week.
No that mercy.
Now people with I don't work for $10 an hour now. But anyway, that's changed. But I wasn't $10 a week, and she says, "Oh, so a lot of niggas won't get as much as you get." Oh, that worried. Well, okay. When David sent for me, she said, "Oh, my Japanese gonna get you." Japanese tried to scare me out of coming to California. I came right on to David, to my husband. Anyway, when I came here, one of you asked me if I went back to work. My husband never wanted me to work.
Mm-hmm.
But he went to work one day, and I took right all the way around the shipyard. Well, I was getting, instead of getting $10 a week, I was getting $62 a week after everything had been taken out.
That was good money, huh?
This woman didn't believe I could do it. I typed well. I could do shorthand pretty good. But anyway, I sent her my check stub. That was true.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have believed me otherwise. But anyway, David and I, we saved our little money and got things going and we lived in Richmond, down on 25th Street in Richmond. And then he moved over here. We moved over here in April. Yes, in April of 46. He lived 5 weeks and a few days and died. So then, I was just left to blank. Okay, I took him home and I came back. I started all over again. And I started to school. I couldn't study. Because my husband, he and I was talking. We had our family relation that night. And he just turned over and said, honey, I'm going to sleep. And I was laying up there because he wanted to come home. And finally, so my arm was hurt me. Honey, get something. I'm hurt. And was in 15 miles and was dead. Okay, that left me a blank. But when I brought him back, took him back to Arkansas, buried him, and brought him here, I went to school because I had gone to college in Pine Bluff, remember, before I left Arkansas, before I married. But anyway, I came here and I went to the colleges here. I didn't even do any good. But I have seen so many changes. Oh, good. So many changes that, because like I never was one to do housework for white people. I never was able to do that too much. But I would go out and try to do like do days work. They was paying $10 a day instead of $10 a week. That was pretty good. I couldn't save any money at that. Every time I come back, I stop at the store and spend my money. Okay, then I started working in the hospitals. That was before I got married to my last husband. And a little doctor, Dr. Holiness, wanted to marry me, but he was Jamaican. And he went out to Los Angeles and sent for me. I had married Hollis, a 7th grade scholar. And here this man finished doctor, he finished the doctor course at Harlem, went on down to Los Angeles to finish up and sent after me. I said, Herb, I'm married. I sometimes kick myself, but maybe it's for the best. I don't know. Okay, that's enough of that. I wonder about that a lot of times. But anyway, I have what? Nothing. Go ahead. Anyway, I married this husband that I had, my last husband. He and I we did pretty good. But friends, a lot of people get money. We had $80,000. We had 2 cars. We had a house paid for. I had some decent fun. My husband didn't want me to buy no furniture. But it was fair. So he wanted a divorce. So I got my divorce. And here I am now. He could, right now, he calls me twice and 3 times a day. You can put that together whichever way you want.
He said always about the earthquake, didn't he?
He gonna call me again, and he and I gonna watch. 11 o'clock, we gonna watch till 12. I go to sleep on every night. Oh, but anyway, he thought outside was very pretty. He said he'd get any kind of pretty girl he wanted, but they still outside together. They ain't got any yet. When he was here last week, talking about how nice things were here. I'm doing all right.
My name is Jointa Sharpe. I am from the Sharpe family. Henry and Hattie Sharpe was my parents. My mother and father raised 11 children. I'm the third from the bottom. Believe that? And we had it's just amazing as I look back to see what a wonderful family we had and how blessed we was. And we wasn't even poor. We thought we was poor, but we wasn't poor. We had lots to eat. I've never been really hungry. I was born December 6, 1926. to head in the shop. And they call me the neat baby, third from the bottom. I enjoyed my life at home so much with my sisters and brothers. They were sharecroppers. That means sharing white man's farm. We make so much, he makes so much, which was a downer for my father because he never kept books on this. He just said yes and kept right on going. But since I've grown up, I see why he did that. He didn't want to confront the white man any kind of way because he knew how low down it could be. He was thinking of his children. If he had confronted that white boy, he was thinking about what he would have done to one of his 11 children. Probably burn the house down, shoot him, anything. So he just went along with him, and we did the best we could, which wasn't bad. We killed 6 hogs every year, 6 pigs. It was hogs by the time we killed them.
No, hold it now. Okay, now, about what time of the year was this?
Oh, this was, okay. I know I'm going a little fast because I want to tell it so bad, you know.
Well, go ahead, sister.
We would farm 6 months out of a year.
From January, June.
From January. No, maybe February to September.
All right.
That's close enough. For the farming year. And then we'd gather our harvest. And when it get cold enough, which was about December, we would kill those hogs. 6 hogs. And my brothers and sisters, you'd have a field day. We had so much fresh meat. My mother raised geese. She raised chickens. She raised cows, pigs, until they got to big hogs. We had goats. And everything. Now that I look back at it, we were rich.
I tell you,
We were rich.
grandmother was a very extraordinary woman.
Yeah.
She really was.
She's a little lady. She could make a meal out of nothing. And feed the children. She makes sure they were full. And kept you in church from sun to praise the Lord. Well, I wasn't a bad one. It sure wasn't. And you can believe each shop from that hard work, what we thought was hard and poor. I bet you each shop child got somewhere to live.
Amen.
They got a roof over their head.
Man.
And they know how to, they're still working hard. The one that's left here know how to work. You know how to raise a garden. You know how to do it. My brother's a businessman. They just don't talk about it. If they would talk more, businessmen should talk. I wish Lindbergh and Cleveland would learn to talk. They know so much to tell, but they're just kind of backwards. I think they work too much. You're supposed to work some, talk some, learn other people your trades, and talk more. This is one thing that I like for my families to do. Get together and talk. We have so much to say to each other, but some of them don't like to talk about the back stuff, but I appreciate the back stuff. I really do. This is Will Henry Sharpe, the oldest Sharpe brother. When he was in service, he had a wife, Mary Sharpe, and Debbie Sharpe, one daughter. And
Go ahead.
this is Simon Sharpe, next to Will Henry. He was a businessman. In fact, all my brothers are business people. Simon was a businessman. He bought lots of land in Arkansas. He raised white potatoes. He raised corn. He had a store. He had skating rink. He had everything going for himself. Gas station and all that business going before he died in 674. This is Ollie James Sharpe with his wife, Blanche Sharpe. Ollie was a workaholic and a good time man, but he believed in taking care of his family. He wasn't such a business person, but he's a good mechanic on cars. If anything wrong with the car, he can fix it. If you didn't bother him, he'd fix the car. Mr. Johnny Sharpe, man of all trades. He was at service. He was in service. He was married before he went in service to Helen Sharpe. and had 2 daughters and a son. They had a son if he got out of service. He moved from Arkansas to Columbus, Ohio, and that's where he is now. He retired from working 30 years in the airport, working on airplanes, and he's retired. And he's a real sophisticated, well-raised young man, and he tries to keep himself up so well. This is Mr. Cleveland Sharpe, the real businessman head. You always wanted to make money and more money. I don't think he'll ever get enough. He likes to work in the dirt. When he was a little baby boy, he'd work and work to get some extra money. Stay out of school to get some extra money to be sharp and anybody in the schoolhouse. And he was smart. He's still smart. Of course, he had illness recently, but he's doing fine, I hear. Had a stroke, but he's recovering very well. And I hope he take care of himself. A little more about Cleveland Sharpe. His wife, Thelma Sharpe, is a very smart woman. Cleveland used to copy off her papers in school to make an A. If Thelma made an A, this made an A. So that meant they've been together for a long time, together. They had 3 sons, Kenneth Sharpe, and Larry Sharpe, and Demetrius Sharpe. No, I'm tell you what's your name. Charlton Sharpe. Okay, 3 educated sons. They're all smart, and they know the business. If they want to work in his business, they know how to work in his sewer business. But they have their own mind. They want to go their own way, but they see after their father whenever they have to. They know how to work with him, and they know how to work without him. Right? This is Lindbergh Sharpe, the baby, Mama's baby. He married a nice, intelligent, educational wife, Elvanita Sharpe. They had 9 children. They raised 6. And he's in business also. Him and Cleveland is in business, sort of joining together. Their business construction yard is together, next door to each other. So they kind of watch over each other. They work with each other. They work for each other. They help each other out. His children is Linda Sharpe, twins, Chris and Zachary Sharpe, and LaWanna Sharpe, Stephanie, Armand, yes, and what else? And that's it. But he have beautiful grandkids now, and he works hard. I think that Cleveland and Lynn is workaholics, and I wish they would cool it a while and sit down and think. Figure up their finance and see where they're going. He is now married again to Lil. They're doing okay. This is the 4 sisters on this little picture. It's very important to me. This is Susie, my oldest sister now. She's just a little mother for all of us. She knows everything to tell us when we're doing wrong, and she's perfect. Perfect little lady. She went to college. One of us, and she and Margaret went to college. But the rest of us were kind of housewives. So this is Margaret, my baby sister, second, something like that. She was a teacher in Arkansas. They got 13 kids of her own, but she still want to teach children. And right now she's got some child care home. She loves her babies. She don't know what to do with them, and they don't bother her. And this is Cindy, my sister Cindy in the middle here, next to me. She's the mother of 10 children. So she's a perfect lady. She's a sporty girl. Never forget to be cool. And Margaret have 13 kids. She have 10. Whew. And the next is Georgia Sharpe, the tall one here. I'm just an everyday woman trying to do the best that I can. And I wanted to say a little word about Cindy. My sister Cindy was a very ill lady. She tumbled down a flight of stairs in 1987. A tumble down, her whole body rolled like a wheel. And so she never got over that. So I saw her last year. She was still stiff and pokey and walking like a person with She was sort of catatonic, stiff, moving, talk slow. And so I knew it wasn't right. She wasn't right. And so it interfered with the whole body. But since she's been back home, she got a new doctor, and they tell me she's perfectly like her old self. Talking fast, walking fast, dressing fast. Thank you. This is a picture of my mother, Hattie Sharpe, for our first family reunion. And I think it was 1976. And she sang the song that night. Lord, help me to hold out. She's sitting beside Leroy Johnson. It was a beautiful first family reunion. This is my older sister again when she was much younger. Isn't she pretty? She was going to school and working at the hospital. And I think she had just got married again. And you notice at the bottom is James Arthur and our cousin and his wife. He and Susan was real close together when they were very small children. And I'm sure she'd be glad to see that. This is my oldest sister, Missy, which is deceased. She died in 81. But I want you to know she was a beautiful, educated lady, very quiet. You never would know it. But she majored in music. She finished college after she was married to Milton Willis, which was a miracle. But she did finish college in Dearmont, Arkansas. And she came to California and worked in shipyard. And before that, she worked in Detroit, in the factories. I guess she's making cars and stuff. And she came to California again. She worked in the cannery. And she bought a house. And she had a business, beautician, cosmetology. And she was doing both cannery work, cosmetology, boarding home. She had about 7 or 8 men walking around there paying her rent every month. And she was cooking for all of them, watching for them. And she was quite a business lady. When she weighed 118 pounds, I've been trying to get this to her for so many years. So finally I'm getting it more and more than now. I'm getting her baby is taking it. So she can forever have it in her treasure. That was a very smart lady. She had been smart all of her life, and she'd been in school. She made all A's. She never made a B. And now she's helping her husband with his business. If it was for her, he wouldn't have it, because she's the brain, really. She got 3 boys. It might be heavy, but I'm telling the truth. She's the brain, but behind every good man there's a good woman. Behind every good woman there's a good man in front to listen to the woman. How's that? So she's a good woman. She's very ambitious, and she's a sweet person, and a very intelligent, educated woman. They had 9 children, raised 6. And she's a very sweet person. If you got to understand her, though, she brings it straight where it's supposed to be. If you don't get it together, it's tough. But she going to tell it like she thinks it's supposed to be. I still love Amanita, no matter what happened to her and Lynn. You know, the children is my first priority. And that's just the way it has to be. I remember visiting Arkansas one year, and I had been in California about 5 years, I guess. So I felt pretty good about going back down there to visit my mother and father. And so while I was there, a white gentleman came to the door and asked for Uncle Henry. And I happened to answer the door. And I said, "Pardon me?" He said, "Is Uncle Henry here?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. You never told me about a cousin look like you." I said, "What do you mean, Uncle Henry?" So my mother was having a fit in the back behind me then. But the white man came down to earth and said, "You're right. I was looking for Henry Sharpe." So just goes to show you, each generation, it seems like it's breaking this thing down. But my mother and father was afraid to talk because they was afraid of what they would do to us. Here I go down there with no fear whatsoever and speak my mind and got good results. Yeah, right. But anyway, I've never worked in nursing school. I worked at Highland Hospital 7 years.
Oh, good.
And then you build your reference issue though. I was going to school as I worked. It was so hard, but I kept doing it. And then I decided to change my mind and I went to Martinez Hospital to work, which was more money.
I heard that.
But I continued to go to school.
Yeah.
Trying to go to school and work. That's so hard. I will tell any young person, if you got something you want to get like algebra, chemistry, and math, you better get it before you get to high school and college because it's too rough trying to work and get those grades. Because I don't have that math right yet. If I had my math right, I could be a registered nurse. Because I have critics waiting at college, Solana College, held up waiting on me to finish my chemistry, my algebra, and math. And it just blew me away. I don't know why. I just can't do it. So, but God has been good to me. I can't let that stop me. You know, I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I worked at Martinez 20 years. Got beat up by one of those psych patients. And I decided it was time to hang up my hat.
Yeah, I think it's time to
20 years long enough. Anyway, so that made 27 years, and plus working in the nursing home, be about close to 30 years. So I think that's enough of beating the concrete behind sick folks.
Well, and Eddie, you bought 2 homes?
Yeah.
Well,
I observe. I said, God, that's some blessed functions.
You bought 2 homes. You have grandchildren now, right?
Yes, I have 2 grandchildren.
And you're riding them all in a $30,000 van. That's not bad. How many of us have a $30,000 van?
Well, God said if you trust Him, you can get anything.
That's right.
Blessed abundantly.
That's right.
And I have been blessed, you know? Oh, and we're still working hard, though. I'm taking care of my grandkids.
She likes that.
I enjoy it sometimes. Sometimes I do.
You're right sometimes.
And sometimes I don't.
So on the day Isaki pizza step through see
The auntie of Kenny, Carlton,
And Christopher.
first thing I would like to say, I really admire you young men for what you're doing. Our family, we have a large family. We have a wonderful family. But there are a few things we need to talk about.
Hopelessness pervades the streets of inner-city Black America. Extended periods of joblessness are driving more and more Black men into a kind of self-imposed exile from society. High incidences of homicide and suicide plague them. Poet Imamu Baraka described them best. I am inside someone who hates me.
We sometimes refer to it as the missing black male. Black females are numerically a majority in the black community. But then you add to it the fact that the black male is highly unemployed, has a very high unemployment rate, has a very high incarceration rate, has a very high death rate, and has a very low educational attainment rate.
There are more than 3 million black men today who are unemployed. Because two-parent families are penalized by some welfare guidelines, many chronically unemployed fathers choose to leave home so that their children can eat. It is one of contemporary black America's most challenging dilemmas.
It has helped black women, yes, but it has certainly crippled. It has done so much harm to our black men. Because I'm not going to say the woman is the cause of it. Okay. But the man, no, if he separates from his family,
And then get fed.
then get fed. But he better look out. What's the welfare department? They're coming at him.
Yeah.
And that has really affected our men. It has affected our women to the point where as soon as they can't get to have their way, they gonna put you out.
Yeah, and my
We gonna put you out. And come on, Governor, give me my welfare check. So it has black families all messed up.
and
And what make me angry, the black men don't seem to understand what's going on. Come on, black men, wake up, see what's going on. I would like to read this poem. It's called Don't Quit.
man.
When people pull you down, as they often will, when the battle you are fighting is all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, when you're laughing, although you rather cry, when you discover yourself slowing down a bit, stop and take a deep breath, but don't quit. How often you'll find that you'll come so far, yet you must steady your pace, can't stay where you are. You'll need twice the effort to make your way. Tomorrow won't come till you conquer today.
Man.
You'll discover yourself slowing down a bit. Stop and rest if you must, but don't quit. Always do the best that you can possibly do. Treasure your friends as they are far and few. Never give up, whatever the burden you bear. Just one more step might get you there. How often the journey that proceeds so slow will conclude abruptly in death, the final blow. Success is belief that you cannot fail. The winds of happiness that fill your sail. Winners are often born when the going gets rough. In those moments of peril, the strong get tough. Life will often push you down a bit. Stand up and shout, I will not quit. Now that poem is written by, so it's right now, it's an unknown author to me. I had it somewhere, but right now it's unknown. But that's a poem I'd like to dedicate to the Sharpe men. To the Sharpe men, because the men folk are supposed to be the backbone of the family. I still believe, I'm still old-fashioned, so I do think the men folk are the backbone of the family. And in order for us to find out where we're going, we must find out where we are, because we know where we've been. So we don't want to wallow in where we have been. We want to excel. We want to move on. So we need our men, our strong men, to support us. This is the whole family, and our men have their work cut out for us. I have a song. I'd like to dedicate to the men and the Sharpe family. Attempt to play this song. It's been a long time since I played it. Here it goes. Oh, can I start over? Excuse me. Smear, this is Candy Camera. So let me try it again, okay? Okay. Me. Now, get a little nice. Stop standing by your mother's side. Give me a kiss first.
This is some more family.
Oh. Okay, now try me. Oh, come on, cross your fingers, Mildred. You tie.
That's big.
Oh. Did I? Too fast. Yeah.
Go. That was just that. That's right.
Only Cleveland, Eddie, and Lindbergh will know that song.
Okay.
Cleveland used to sing tenor on this song. Oh, and Uncle Johnny. Johnny could sing bass. I was singing alto, and Eddie was singing soprano. Oh, yeah. Lindbergh was singing tenor. So this is an old song. This is why I chose this song. So I'm going to do another one if I can. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. Because I'm making too many mistakes.
Teacher now?
Yes, I am. I've been a teacher a good while because I love small children. I love working with small children. So I find it, that's where I find my pleasure, helping small children and their parents. That's part of my job, you know. It's my calling, really, because on my job, I have so many young families. You know, I feel like I have a lot to offer them, and they come to me. Oh, every morning I have to help. You know, I have to help somebody some kind of way. You know, so for some parent, so I get pleasure at it because I'm so thankful that I'm able to finally help somebody. Yes, because I've had it kind of hard, but I never down myself. Never. Oh, no, never.
That's right.
So the Lord have able me to kind of help somebody and the small children, the nonprofit families, I'll say. And I really appreciate it. I enjoy it. That's where I get my joy.
Now, you know, Aunt Margaret, that was good that you gave the Lord his recognition, because a lot of people, they'll say, and I did this and I did that, but we all know who did.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I hear that every day about what I've done and I did this and I hear a lot of that. But see, I know where our blessings come from.
free. Alle Papier Hobby Israel see
I'm Sharpe, wife of Phelan Sharpe and mother to Kenneth, Larry, and Charlton Sharpe. I was born Thelma Hewitt in Baxter, Arkansas on September 30th, 1927. I attended school at Dermot, Arkansas, graduated in 1945. I spent 1 year at Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. I married in 1946 to Cleveland. And I left Ohio to come to Arkansas to get married. Cleveland left California to come. We wanted to get married at home. I took nursing, so there was no problem at all getting a job. I quit Western Reserve, got married, came to California, and was working again in the space of 2 weeks. Our marriage has been ups and downs, as all marriages are, and circles and squares. But I think it says something that Cleveland and I have been together 45 years. So I think that's saying something. I think the Lord has blessed us. I'll start the interview. As all of you know, I'm a hobby freak. And before the prices got so ridiculous, I used to like to gather unpublished poems. And one of my favorite authors was Rex Stout. And I have a poem of his published when he was 16. He was trying to get into the Navy, and the Navy wouldn't accept him. He ran away from home. He lied by his age. And then when the Navy found out he was 16, they turned him down. And of course, he was pretty upset about it. The subject of his poem is I Can. And incidentally, it's the takeoff from Sammy Davis Jr.'s, I believe, song or statement or story. The poem. When you're a long, long way from home and you are trying to stand alone, the sea is stormy, the pathway rough, whatever you is not enough, then gather your courage and take a stand and tell yourself, I can, I can. When everything you do is wrong, the days so cold, the night so long, you try to do the things you ought and find it all has been for naught. Then stand up there and take your stand to say, oh yes, I can. When you've been in Gethsemane and nothing ahead but Calvary, and often you have to shed a tear and feel pangs of doubt and fear, just keep on plugging through the sand, and with your help say, Lord, I can. For Jesus knows what we can bear, and there's no burden he won't share. And when seems no sight, it's a tiny ray of light, earth your shoulder, lifespan, and Lord, we can.
Hi, this is Kellen Sharpe. This is my mother, Thelma Hewitt Sharpe. How did you and Dad meet, and how long have you known to each other?
Your father's parent and my parent knew each other. The first remembrance that I had, I think Cleveland came to Dermot. Mama had her body, and I fell in love with the first thing. And of course, I was 8 years old then. And I told him then that when I got 16, I'd marry him. And of course, it took me about 3 years after that, because I was 19 when I married. To see, I wasn't dumb enough to wait for him to propose. I proposed.
You proposed to him?
Yeah, I proposed.
it seems as though a lot of our relatives, they only know you as a housewife. But what are some of the jobs that you have now?
Well, let's start way back. In the first place, in Arkansas, you grew what you ate. So I learned how to flour and chop corn and cotton. And we raised our food, raised turkeys and guineas and hens, pork sometimes. When I was 11 years old, I went to work in a cafe for Mrs. Haynes. And I worked there until I must have been around 16 in her place that burned down. And she was burned with the place. I managed to work and still end up at school as valedictorian of my class in 45. When I left Vermont, I started working as a nurse's aide at Western Reserve University, and I also had to go to school to take nurse training. And then I had to take chemistry because we had senior science in our high school, but I had to study chemistry also. When I worked there about 9 months, and we made train age status, that means you get where you get in your whites then. I came to California and I worked at Highland Hospital as a nurse's aide, and then later as a surgeon's technician. And then, let's see. Oh, yes, one of the jobs I really enjoyed, believe it or not, is I used to work for $1 an hour in a food stand for a blind man who's one of my patients out at Highland. At Highland, I always had the critical patients. And I just longed to work on the lower ward where the patients would get up and do for themselves some. But I was always assigned to the first 5 beds, and those were the critical patients. And I loved the work. As a matter of fact, I would go back on my off days to take care of my patients. And I would stay after work sometime to make sure they ate or cured them or cleaned them, whatever they needed doing. I was very happy there. I didn't like cysto too much, but other than that, but I went to surgery. I like surgery. Fine. Then after Cleveland went into business, I started teaching the books for him. After that, I think the job I liked most was the one at Caltran, because this was getting the black people onto the freeway work. And I really enjoyed that. And of course, I'd like to say that quite a few of the black contractors did start working. Now, it was hard to get them started, but they did start working. And I really enjoyed that job.
Okay, you know, Mama, everybody has different ideas and different beliefs. Tell me some of your ideas when it concerning like a family unit. How do you feel about that?
Well, the way I feel is the husband, the wife, and children is the main unit. And those people live in what's called home. Now, you may go out there and have to fight the world. You may have to fight everybody out there. But home should be a haven. Yeah. And when you come home, it should be a place that you can relax, be happy. Of course, you have to have rules, and there has to be discipline. And it's more difficult now for home, especially if you have children, than it was when I was coming up. Because when I was going out to work every day, it was because we wanted to buy a house. Now, it takes a wife working just to help pay the rent. So the main thing is cooperate with each other. If the wife is working, there's no disgrace in her husband coming home and helping her with the housework. There's certainly no disgrace in her going getting a job to help meet the expenses. And keep your family happy. Now, happiness means let everybody know that they're respected, that you love them, and that you think that they're great. The formula is home should be 5% discipline and 95% enjoyment. Don't neglect the picnics, the outings, the trips that your family makes. The family should have one night a week for all members of the family to do something together. The wife and husband should have a night a week when they should call a babysitter in if necessary, and let the wife and husband have time together. Do not neglect educating your children, because it's almost impossible now to find a job without at least the BA, and most people want masters. And I've always been very, education has really been one of my things. I just feel like it's not fair to have your children and then don't educate them, because you're not giving them the chance in life that they need. And of course, your children are your responsibility. And of course, I guess we harp on men's responsibility a lot. But one of the things that I would like to tell men, hey, seeing that your wife and children are in church is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And when I say yours, I mean get up and take them. Don't send them. You are supposed to take your family to church.
Bible says that.
And the religious training, is up to you to provide that. Now, of course, the wife can teach them some of the things, but the major responsibility is up to you. It's odd that most women feel like, okay, if I do the housework and put the food on the table and keep the clothes up, that's my responsibility. Most men feel like if I pay the bills, if I the paycheck, that's the end of mine. But it's not that at all. Parenting is a very tough job, and it's both of your responsibility to see that those children come to be good citizens, because you're going to have what you rear. And when you see your children acting up, of course, they will do it anyway. But give them a chance and give them the right upbringing. And when God gives us these children, he made us responsible for them. So it's up to every parent to see that your child gets religious training, see that your child is educated, and see that his home is a haven. And this does not mean that they can go out and get away with doing things that they don't have any business doing. No. Put some belt leather on. But let them know that they are loved at home, and when the punishment is over, you're through with it. Teach them the things that they're supposed to know. And I think that this is just one of the really essential things about having a home, especially today.
Africa, Alukakadie, so Belolapayo, Israelimeja.
Sharpe. And this marks the end of Family in Retrospect Part 1. I'd like to thank those who participated, namely Aunt Susie, Aunt Eddie, Aunt Margaret, Aunt Thelma, or Mama, Kenneth, and Christopher. Family in Retrospect Part 2 should be out hopefully by October. And in Part 2, the hope is to have some of those seniors who were apprehensive about participating in Part 1 be interviewed. And briefly, to those seniors who are apprehensive, I know I was a bit persistent in my phone calls, but I just want you to understand that we're hungry for your wisdom. And they say that wisdom is more valuable than gold or silver. And regardless of what you say or how you say it, I guarantee you we will all be enriched. Also in Part 2, the hope is to move to the next generation, that is, the generation below the seniors. Now, I'm sure there are those, in fact, I know of at least a couple people who have nothing but negative to say about this project. And to those who just continue to add negative input to this idea, the only thing, I was going to go into an explanation, apologies, etc. But why? All I have to say is, why don't you just go to... Now that the critics have been put in their proper place, I will continue. Those who have positive input and can help in the distribution of this project here. It's up to you to get them out to everybody. Sharpe Productions. Oh, just a second. Let me get rid of this second. Okay. Sharpe Productions were able to produce this, but due to the factors of just energy, time, and money, we're not able to get them out to everybody. And I think it's vital that everybody has access to this medium. So, those who do receive a tape, it's up to you to reproduce it and get it out to the others. As far as money, we think that $5 to $10 is a fair price to charge, considering the time and energy that's been put into it. If you can't afford it, we'll negotiate. As you're reproducing and getting the tapes out to other family members, we want you to have the same philosophy behind the charge. You see, this is not a money-making venture. So if you're going to charge $5 or just give it away, what's important is that people have the opportunity, particularly family members, have the opportunity to view this. In conclusion, if you're interested in being interviewed or have questions, just like the newsletter, in fact, this is just like the newsletter. It's just an updated version. As I was saying, please call 234-2100, and we will handle your message as expeditiously as possible. As I was saying, this is the end of part 1. And until next time, you think we could play that African national anthem again? I really like that song. See you later.
Resuscita África. Anu para Yesu Kondorayo. Israel mecha. Su. Oh.